Hey, everybody, welcome inside the Postgame podcast for a Thursday. It is frigid in the studio again, but it's hot outside. No, it's not. It's cold out there, too. What's Al? Now, if you're just listening, to the podcast, let me just quick give you the visual before Al starts talking. He came in here this morning with the jacket on and the winter Minnesotan type of hat on. You know, it was cold. He came in just now just wearing the hoodie, to which I just looked over. He pulled the hoodie up over his head tightly and then has the headsets over the hoodie. So,
yeah.
Hello, Al. How are you?
Oh, hi there, Jerry. Yeah, it's freezing in here and my bald head can't handle it.
I get it, man.
So I have a guy who's, we have at the radio station here, we have call screening software.
Right.
And all it really does is it allows me to answer the phone and punch in so Boomer and Geo can see name, where they're calling from, and what they want to talk about.
Sure.
And it's not like true caller ID. Like if somebody calls in for the very first time, I can't see who's calling. But it's a caller ID in that if you've called the station before, your name and where you're located will come up.
Right.
Whatever you told me.
Right.
So if you're Bill in the Bronx, but when you call in, you're Mike and Randolph, you come up as Mike and Randolph.
Right.
So it also tallies up the amount of phone calls someone has lobbed to the radio station and how many times they've been on the air. Well, there's a fella who's quickly approaching 20,000 phone calls.
Wow.
At the start of today, he had 99 to go.
He must have a great job.
And I'm watching it the same way I watch my odometer when I'm going to hit 200,000 miles or something. It's like kind of fascinating. Now, the reason why this one particular gentleman is almost reaching 20,000 calls is he's a big contest caller. So he calls.
Oh, so it's not just to the listener line, it's calls to the station.
Yeah, calls to the station. So he calls the contest line a lot, even when, in fact, we're not running contests.
Right.
I think he's just taking a chance. Maybe these guys are running a contest.
Sure.
So I think I'm going to pick him up when he hits 20,000 so that
This is your 20,000th call.
Yeah, this is.
Are you going to give him $20,000?
I am not.
I
No.
So.
But I am going to pick him up just to let him know. Now, there are people in the 10,000 range that I've seen, but I've never seen anyone.
That's a lot of phone calls.
It's a lot of phone calls. And, as I was thinking about that today, I was also thinking about screening the calls. And, I'm known for sometimes being rude to the callers and things. But a lot of times, the problem is if I have a lot of phones buzzing, my job is to get good callers, as difficult as that may be, onto the air. So I got to weed through bad callers. And I don't have time to be kind and polite. I have to just move on. Thank you, click, because I have to get.
I did it back in the day. I remember.
Yeah.
Of course, I just put anybody on.
Yeah.
Unless they sounded incoherent, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Then I wouldn't. But many times, name, where you calling from, what are you talking about? And if they couldn't put a sentence together, I wouldn't put them on.
Yeah.
But, remember, I was producing for Joe, and Joe was a caller. And Joe loved when people would call in, loved seeing a full. We only had, I don't know what it is now, but we only had 4 in Astoria. We only had 4 lines.
I think we have 5 now.
Was that all? I thought
Yeah.
it was more than that. So, he liked it when he would see 4 calls up. And back then, before really the internet took off, going back to 98 into 99 now, you would have, and I am not exaggerating. I think everybody would say the same thing. If you worked that shift, you would have 4 calls on hold. 1 would be on the air, 3 would be on hold, but you would have 4 lines full Joe came on at 1:00, really 1:05 after the update.
AM?
Yeah. I would say starting at around 12:10 people, 12:50, 10 minutes before the show began, the phone lines would be full. And there would be people that would call the earlier program, whoever that might be. Now, this was when Pharrell was still on, so we weren't taking calls. Those lines would be full until 5:00. Now, people knew at 5, Joe didn't take calls. He redid his open at 5 a.m. for a new audience. And then once he got to the 5:20 update, he would come back for literally like 3 minutes and wasn't taking a call. But from 1 a.m. to 5 a.m., 4 lines full the entire night.
Yeah.
But I know I get it. You want to weed through some of the bad ones. I get it.
Yeah. The other thing too is like I up these numbers for these callers is because I don't pick up a lot of calls because these guys call every day,
And you know what
every
they're
show,
about.
and I don't want the same callers on every day, every
Sure.
show. I just don't, and it's really wild because like guys will call me all morning, and I won't pick up because they called me all morning the day before, and they called me all morning the day. It just seems weird. And then like I'll click over to Evan and Tiki, and it's all the guys I didn't pick.
Oh,
I'm like,
yeah.
holy crap.
Yeah, I think we're in an era now where we're, as every day passes, we're losing the younger audience of callers.
Yeah, they don't call.
No, and I don't know who's listening and who's not, but in terms of calling, it's a texting generation now.
Yeah.
They're not gonna pick up their phone and call, so all you've got left really are guys I would think in there in terms of regular calls. I think you're talking about guys in their 40s and up now. I could tell you right now, my son's group, they actually do listen, which I told you surprised me. I had no idea that they listen to this radio station, but they do. But when I ask them if they call, they look at me like I got 8 heads.
Yeah.
They're like, "Call to talk?" I'm like, "Yes, that's what we do. We talk to people." "Oh, no. Do you have a text line that I can send my comments into?" "Oh, we tried that a few times, but no." That's what they do, though.
Yeah. I know it's a weird thing because I would even say it's actually 50 and older
It might be.
that
Yeah.
calls
Yep.
now. So then that's the other thing too is like if you put too many old callers on that just want to give you their sports resume and things, it sounds old
Yeah, it does.
where it doesn't have to sound old. But it's also difficult. I know, I believe me, the one day they didn't schedule somebody in your place and I was here by myself for 1 hour,
Yeah.
not 5 hours, 1 hour. I was desperate for the phone
For
callers.
sure.
So I do understand that too. Like if you're a solo artist,
Yeah, when
very difficult.
when
So
you have a partner, you should be able to get through a few
yeah,
hours, you know?
yeah. That's why I feel like I could be more picky
Mhm.
in the morning.
Sure.
And we do have regular callers that are funny that when I see them calling, even if they call a lot,
Yep.
I pick them right up because they normally have something funny to contribute
Mhm. Or at
to
least
the
try.
thing. You or at least try.
Right,
Yeah.
and if they bomb, that's funny.
Yes.
That is true.
Yeah. But I even wonder about like when we do giveaways, like it's the
Same
same
people.
winners. I
Yeah.
take the winners. It's the same people.
I think so giveaways to me are interesting because I know I watched that remember the documentary on Z100?
Yeah, I never watched that.
Oh, it was very good.
I
It was very well
kept
done.
forgetting
It
to
wasn't the
watch it.
greatest thing in the world, but it was good. And a little part of that talked about, how they went from basically nothing to like number 1. And, they talked about giveaways and stuff like that. And I think that was part of their success, was having great tickets to give away and stuff like that. And I get that 30, 40 years ago, that was a big deal. And I guess there are some really good giveaways still to this day. But like, I don't know, giving away Jet tickets or, Nets tickets or Knicks tickets are hot now. I get that. But it just doesn't, it's not appointment radio anymore. If you say, hey, next hour, unless it's a great, and I mean a great event that we're giving tickets away to.
Yeah, like if we had Taylor Swift tickets,
Oh, God, huge.
it would blow the phones up.
For sure. Because that would be even guys in their 50s for their daughter trying
Right.
to get the tickets.
Yeah.
Like it's got to move the needle.
I know there were years, and we didn't do it last year. I don't know if we did it the year before, but there were years when we gave away Yankee tickets every single day
Yeah.
in the summer. And it was like, dude.
Well, but if you remember, even Craig thought highly of Yankee tickets.
He did.
Because he bought his own season tickets to give them away on the show.
That's true.
Now we are going back 20 years now too. And again, times have changed.
Yeah.
But
That's true.
I'm with you. I don't know that you get like new listeners from giveaways anymore.
Yeah. It may also just be a thing. Like when we give away concert tickets, I think that's another way for the concert to get a mention on the air.
For sure.
They're
Smart.
giving away a pair of tickets.
Mm-hmm.
And with tickets, with tickets being expensive, it is a good prize.
It is.
But so many times, Jerry, and this is the thing that infuriates me, is it'll be like, I'm trying to think of like a younger group. Man, like I'm trying to think
Like age-wise?
Yeah,
or
like
like a group, you mean? Like a
no,
musical
like
group?
a musical group that has a younger audience. Let's
Okay.
say, man, I'm trying to think of a good example.
How about Sabrina Carpenter? She's a young singer.
Yeah, it'd be like if we had Sabrina Carpenter tickets. And when you when you take prize information, you need their birth date. I guess
Right.
that there's some sort of tax implication. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Guys are like 74. And I'm like, you can't transfer these tickets. Oh, no, I'm going. You're going to Sabrina Carpenter? Like so many times.
Yeah.
It'll be some younger version of a band,
Sure.
and like a 75-year-old guy will be like, oh, it's going to be awesome. I'm like, wait a minute. You're telling me you're going to travel from New Jersey to Jones Beach
Right. On
to
a Tuesday night.
to see Blink 182 and you're 84? Yes. Wow.
Some people want to get out of their house.
I guess some people do want to get out and do things.
They want to get out of their house.
Yeah. I saw a lot of posts on Twitter about the Washington Post layoffs. You and I talked about it on the warm-up show.
Yeah,
It
that's
comes
coming
up
up in a
next.
few minutes.
And what's interesting is there were so many. Well, we heard that the sports department was completely let go.
Yeah.
But there were many other, and you realize how many other weird categories they had based on when people were saying they were laid off and what their job, what they wrote about. Some of it was so strange. You're like, what? That was a job? And then other people who didn't get laid off by the Washington Post caught on to this and then started pretending that they got laid off by the Washington Post and explained what their job was. And it was clearly something ridiculous and made up. So real people were writing saying,
got it.
Me along with 13 other climate change writers. And people would be like, there were 14 climate change writers. So then the jokesters got on there, be like, hi, sad news, I got laid off by the Washington Post. I was the guy who wrote, and then it'd be something ridiculous.
Stupid, right?
Yeah, something stupid. So that's like all over Twitter.
Meantime, hundreds of people just lost their livelihood.
Actual jobs, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like that's a real thing.
Yeah.
I'll tell you one thing I'm getting tired of listening to, and whether it's motivational speakers, whether it's people that have been successful. I listened to a couple of commencement speeches on my flight to California the other day because I find them entertaining sometimes. I'm exhausted from the narrative of if you feel like it's time to move on from your job, just do it.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what's out there. And this to me is almost dangerous advice, because while I agree that you're always going to bounce back in some capacity, but boy, oh boy, when you got a lot to lose, that's tough advice to give somebody if they don't have something waiting for them.
Yeah.
Like the idea that someone would just quit their job because they feel like it's time. And then who pays the mortgage and the life insurance and the car payment and the tuition and the electric bill and the gas bill and the water bill and the sewer bill? Like,
I know. And I feel like you only hear the good stories.
Of course you do. And there's thousands of bad ones out there. It's no different than the, believe it into existence. You can, what do we always say?
Manifest it.
Work hard, manifest it, but work hard. You can accomplish anything. Bullshit. Wrong. You can't accomplish anything. You can accomplish a lot. And we see the people that do accomplish what they set out to do. But it's kind of like you see a lot of NBA guys or NFL guys. Boy, yeah, I always believed. I knew I could get here. And, you can do it too. Meantime, there's like 500 of these guys and 50 million that want to do it. But what do we tell the other 49,959,000? It's just, and it's so prevalent, this theory about talking yourself into stuff.
Yeah.
It's dangerous, like, information.
Yeah, I agree, because we only hear the success stories.
Man.
The weird ones too are the ones where it's like the husband, like the wife and mom stays at home and raises the children.
Right.
And then the husband will be like, I quit my 6-figure job. I'm really interested in making buttons out of bottle caps. And my wife said, do it. We're here for you. What? Why would she say that?
Get your ass back to work.
Yes.
Pay the mortgage.
Yeah, what are you talking about? You're going to make buttons out of bottle caps. And it's just like this. No, she knew.
Oh, my God. It is funny. So I was doing my son's taxes for him the other day. He's 21 and he's starting to actually make money. And good for him.
Taxes.
Yeah, and good for him. It's amazing, like the steps of your life and the expenses that you start to incur, like every year, how they go up.
Yes, every
Like,
year you get another expense.
absolutely. Like his return is so simple. He still lives at home. His only payment is basically now I'm going to start making him pay for his car insurance. But that's it. All the money he gets is his money. And I said to him, like, you're close to all of this disappearing. He goes, what do you mean? I'm like, car payment, you got insurance. When you move out, you got to pay the rent. Then there's an electric bill. Then you got to pay the gas bill. I said, there's a water bill for the sewer. I said, I'm like, I can keep going if you want. I'm like, all of this adds up very quickly. I'm like, you need home renter's insurance. He's like, well, how much does all this cost? I'm like, I can tell you right now, more than you're making.
Yeah.
But it's so funny how, like, at his age, he's 21. In 4 years from now, he will be spending a lot more money on expenses.
Yeah.
Like, how about food when you're living on your own? You need some of that. He's like, yeah, I didn't think of all that. I'm like, yeah, well, you better start thinking of all it because he's got this idea, and he probably will, that he's moving out within the year with a friend of his. That's great. I said, but just so you know, this is what it comes with. He's like, wow, that's a lot. I'm like, yeah, yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. So before you move on and quit your job to go travel the world, no, you got a lot going on here soon. Very expensive.
Yeah, but that's when you go from on the tax thing where you can do the easy form, where it's a one page name,
Yeah.
address,
It's a piece of cake.
how much did you make?
Yeah.
How much did you pay in taxes? This is what you owe, or
Correct.
this is what we owe you.
Yep.
It's like, wow, one
So
sheet.
simple.
Yeah.
A little more complicated as it
And then
goes.
then it gets a little more complicated.
I will tell you, the more people I talk to, I find it interesting. I was away with a lot of people, like a big group, because there were in California, it was obviously we're a traveling party of like 40 for the basketball team. And then there were donors and friends of the program and like Rutgers graduates that live out in California that we met that came to the game at a couple of functions. Met a lot of people. I will tell you, the more people have a drink or two and start to tell you about their lives, a lot of people struggling that look like things are good.
Yeah.
But when they start getting going about the expenses of life and we always talk about that. The money disappears very quickly for a lot of people. Not easy.
Yeah, and you don't hear about that.
No, because I think people don't want to discuss it. That's why I said when the drinks start flowing, all of a sudden people start to talk a little bit more and they're freer with their conversation.
Yeah.
And you really learn about how difficult it is for a lot to make ends meet and get all those bills paid. And who's got this and that and the medical expense and the car payment's too much. And I bought a car I shouldn't have. And I met one guy who lives out there. And he's like, I'm in LA and the gas was $5 a gallon. So he bought a Tesla. It was, what did he say? He said it was $58,000. And I said to him, like, I talked to my friend, meaning you, we talk about these car expenses. I'm like, I'm asking you, but I'm like, am I in the ballpark when I say that your car payment is $1,000 a month? He goes, a little bit more of that. I'm like, more than I'm like, and with insurance, he goes, yeah. He goes, my car cost me a lot of money. I'm like, you're paying rent.
Yeah.
Like,
except now rent is,
for sure.
through the roof instead of.
But he said he really realized, and not long after he got the car, he made a mistake. And he's stuck with it now.
Yeah.
That's hard, man.
That's why I always think, for the most part, if you make a mistake and buy too much house and you keep it for a year or 2 years and you're like, you're probably not losing money. Probably.
Depends, but you're right. You might be able to break even, or even make a little bit of money. Depends on the market.
But if you buy a car like that,
you're screwed.
You're definitely losing.
A month after you have the car, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
You're underwater with it. It's it was interesting.
I keep seeing all these YouTube videos, and again, these could be actual things happening or just this is people's content, but they're talking about how people don't want new cars now, not necessarily because of the payment, but because of how you can't fix them, how it's all computers, how all the computers are just gathering information about you, how you're getting advertisements on your screens.
Yeah.
How if you want to use the seat warmer, that's a monthly fee.
Really?
Oh, yeah. There's a bunch of cars like that now.
Wow.
Like, I think, I don't want to besmirch any automakers. I don't remember which ones they were, but there's a number of cars now. If you buy a new car.
Yeah.
And your car comes with heated seats and comes with remote start and comes in order to access those, it's a monthly fee.
Man, that's a bit much.
Yeah. Right. And then they're like, you never really own this car. People are going to be looking for used cars that have.
Yeah. Well, I mean, me and you do the same thing. I mean, we try and buy used cars that are, and not for that reason.
Yeah.
I just find the savings to be, pretty significant when you buy a car that's just a year or two old as opposed to brand new off the lot.
Probably only a year ago, I was wanting to be in the mix on all the new technology.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted everything I purchased from an air filter, air filter in my house.
Oh yeah,
to my air fryer, I wanted everything to have an app.
Mm-hmm.
If it had an app, I was like, oh, this is high tech, very cool. Then you come to find out now people are trying to avoid things with apps because they're like, at some point they could just decide this app is now going to cost you if you want to use it every month.
And then you get used to it.
Yeah.
And then you feel like trapped into buying it or buying in.
Yeah. Like I had a Wemo light switch that I only installed when I moved into Bradley Beach 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And got an email from them at the end of this past year saying, by the way, the light switch, you're not going to be able to use the app anymore. We're getting out of that
operations.
Business. Yeah. I was like, oh, okay. So now this is useless for me now.
Yeah.
So I had to switch it out.
Becoming reliant on technology is not good.
Yeah.
It is not great.
And I'd be like, yes.
I know.
There's a version that has an app and Wi-Fi. Give me that one.
See,
now I don't want it.
To me, there's a line. When it becomes too much, I don't know. There are certain things like Boomer. So the belt that Boomer bought us, the massaging belt, the heating belt, which I think I actually wore it driving in today because it feels great in the morning. But there's an app for that. Now it's kind of like the Chef IQ. You actually don't have to use the app if you don't. I know it does great things and the app's got recipes. It's fantastic.
You don't have to use it to make it work.
The thing works great just as is. I love that. If it comes with an app as an option, great. And I found at first with the belt, I'm like, oh, come on. I got to use the phone to use this. No, you don't. You can use it without the app, but it's got added features on the app.
What are the added features
I didn't
on the
look.
app?
I don't know.
Because I've used that belt that Boomer got us, and I also didn't use any app.
I didn't even download the app. I just plugged it in, charged it, and used it, and it was fantastic. So to me, that's my line. If, like, for instance, I got the air filter, the air purifier for my basement office where I have the little studio when I'm homesick working. And that thing, you have to use the app. I do because I need it. It drives me nuts though. Like I can't even turn you can turn it on, but you can't navigate around it without the app. Well, what if my phone's dead?
Right.
Or what if the Wi-Fi is down or I have no signal? I can't use that stuff drives me. It's kind of like when I got in that stupid Waymo the other day.
Yeah, that looked cool.
I'm going to do this because I'm out here. I'm saying, what happens if there's a power hit? Am I going to crash into someone's house? Now it was very cool. I'm not going to lie. It was a very neat experience, but we're so reliant on the technology. What happens when?
Would you use a driverless car taxi cab in New York City?
Not a chance. No,
not in the city.
No,
even though it's slow moving in New York City.
No, I would not. Someone even told me, one of the guys from UCLA that I met, because I mentioned the fact that I did that thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that'll be really crazy if they come to New York. He goes, there's no way. Apparently, these things get I don't know. This is what I was told. They get very confused by congestion.
Oh.
And specifically foot traffic. So then he was telling me a month ago in LA, one of these Waymos ended up near a protest. The car got surrounded. And it just shut down and didn't know where to go and created like a 4-hour backup.
Yeah.
Because it just shut itself down.
And you're sitting in the car shut itself down, and you're surrounded by protesters.
Now, so think about this now. To open the Waymo, you have to open it once to unlock it, then open it again to open the door. If that car shuts down, are you trapped in that car? How the hell are you getting out?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
That's the stuff that freaks me out,
yeah.
Which is that my ride was 5 minutes. It was fun. I enjoyed it. It was cool. Little video, great. But I don't know. I don't think it would work here.
All right, Jerry, let's do the warm-up program, which does work here. It's very popular.
Yes.
Tomorrow, we'll be back on a Friday. We'll do the warm-up
Friday
show.
already? I thought it was Monday.
Friday already, Jerry. You came back just in time for a Friday show.
Yeah.
So